scattered, they're leasing in some apartment even, or they're squatting in municipal offices.
Okay. My next point, Justice Carpio, is about the GLAC, the Judicial, Executive, Legislative, Advisory, and Consultative Council. Do you think there is a need to convene the GLAC to help address the problems of the justice system?
Yes, that body, the GLAC, is not in the Constitution, but it is also not prohibited. Now, that body is just a forum for the judiciary to propose to the executive how much it needs in the budget, and for the Congress to listen to that proposal. And I don't see a problem with that. And I think we need that, because we have to communicate to the executive what our budgetary requirements are. I remember during the time of Chief Justice Narvasa, I was then in the Malacanang as Chief Legal Counsel. Chief Justice Narvasa said, I want our budget proposal, our recommended budget proposal, be part of the budget proposal of the executive. If we are proposing 10 billion, the executive must propose 10 billion for the judiciary. I said, under the Constitution, it's the executive that proposes the ceiling of the budget. But we can ask your opinion. But we cannot adopt your recommendation because we are the ones who propose, the executive. The judiciary can only recommend. So our compromise was the executive will recommend the actual amount. If it differs with that of the judiciary, we will footnote the recommendation of the judiciary. Okay. That was the agreement. But I think a better way to do this is to create that body and to discuss these issues there directly with the President and with the President of the Senate and with the Speaker of the House. And that will be more efficient. Thank you.
So you think the GLAC can be an instrument in modernizing the justice system in our country?
Yes, I think that body will be great in bringing out the needs of the judiciary to the two other branches, yes. Because that's the only we can do. Because of the separation of powers, we cannot tell Congress how much to appropriate to us. The only thing they can do is they cannot bring our budget down compared to the previous year. We cannot also compel the executive to propose the budget that we want, that we have settled that already with Chief Justice Narvasa.
Yes.
So the best way really is to sit down. How much do we really need?
Okay. Now, Justice Carpio, yesterday, Justice Abad was here, and he stated that the impeachment of the former Chief Justice has wounded or damaged the judiciary. And he said that an insider could effectively lead the renewal of the court. Do you agree?
Well, on that first premise that the impeachment has wounded the judiciary, I'm not prepared to go to that extent. Okay. In fact, I have said that the impeachment was directed at a particular person, at a particular justice, and we are not affected, I mean, in terms of that impeachment. But I will not also deny that it has brought out problems about the judiciary, like the clogged dockets, corruption supposedly in the judiciary. And this has come out to the fore because of the impeachment. Okay. And we have to address this, because whether we like it or not, whether it's true or not, that's the perception of the people. The clogged dockets have a basis, although we are not to blame, because 80% of the cases pending in first and second level courts are criminal cases. And 40% of these criminal cases are drug cases. And in drug cases, the prosecution always asks for postponement because they don't have the witness, the forensic expert is not around, he has been transferred to another station, and there is no POW lawyer to defend the accused. These delays are not attributable to us, but we bear the blame because it's part of our docket. That's why I've discussed this with the justices, and I said, although we are not really to blame for this huge backlog in criminal cases, and this is really the cause of the backlog, we have to solve this because it affects us. And I have proposed that for criminal cases, before the information is filed in court, the prosecution must attach the affidavits of all his witnesses in question and answer form, so that when the trial comes, the witness will just affirm his affidavit and the cross-examination can start. And we cut down trial work by 1/2. If we cut down trial work by 1/2, chances are the prosecution witnesses like the police are still in that area ready to appear. But after a lapse of time, this police, the forensic expert are moved around, reassigned to other places, and maybe the other witnesses just disappear.
So, Justice Carpio, do you agree with the observation of some people that the impeachment has affected the cordial relationships of the judiciary with the other two political branches of government?
Well, I do not think so. When you say cordial relationship, I think you refer to the respect one shows to each other. That respect is there. It's very much there. I attended the SONA in representation of the judiciary because I have respect for the president. I have respect for the SONA process, which is there in the Constitution, which requires the president to address Congress at its opening session. While it may be a ceremony, it has a constitutional function. And I think the cordial relation is there.
Okay, my last question coming from me, Justice Carpio, is this. Past Chief Justices are remembered for the reforms they have instituted during their incumbency. Now, if you will be nominated and appointed as the next Chief Justice, can you please describe to us the face of a Carpio court?
Well, I would say that I would like the court to make the judiciary fair, honest, and efficient. And I would like to be remembered as one of those who helped make the court fair, honest, and efficient, because that will address the issue of the clogging of dockets, that will address the issue of corruption, and that will address the issue of fairness.
Okay. Now, if you will allow me, Justice Carpio, we received so many questions from the Twitter. I'll just ask you one or two. Okay, you have... Okay. Now, if you will be the next Chief Justice, should the 5-strike rule regarding the bar examinations, do you think there is a need to revisit the 5-strike rule regarding the bar examinations? Is it an effective mechanism to screen new lawyers?
Well, I'm in favor of the 5-strike rule. Because after 5 tries, I think maybe you should try something else.
Yeah.
But I say that because we have clerks of court in the first-level courts who are not even law graduates. And there's a place for even those who flunk the bar. I mean, it's better to have a law graduate than somebody who has not taken up law studies at all to be a clerk of court in the first-level courts. Yes. So I think after 5 tries, maybe you should work on something else, but still you can still use your legal learning, your knowledge of the law from law school. Yes. So I think not everybody can practice law. Not everybody who took up law can practice law because we have the bar exams. But they need not waste that learning. We can put it to productive use.
Now, there's so many questions, but this will be my last question from the Twitter. Okay. Now, Justice Carpio, what are the wrongdoings of the past Chief Justice that you won't do in case you get the post? and how would you change it?